President Bola Tinubu, in company of First Lady Oluremi Tinubu, have arrived at the venue of the G20 Leaders Summit in Rio de Janeiro. They were received by host President Ignacio Lula da Silva. The Nigerian leader, his participation is at the instance of the Brazilian president. It brings together leaders from the world's top 20 economies, including the European Union, the African Union, and multilateral financial institutions, among others. President Tinubu is also expected to hold bilateral meetings on the sidelines of the summit in advancement of Nigeria's socio-economic reforms. And we'll bring you a full package of that event in our subsequent bulletin. In the meantime, the federal government has launched the Grand Challenges Nigeria project, designed to drive innovation in solving health and other national issues. Vice President Kashim Shettima, who launched the project at the banquet hall of the presidential villa, describes it as a major step in delivering on the promises of the renewed hope government. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports.
We are gathered here today with a shared sense of purpose and agency. An agency imposed upon us by the rapid pace at which our world is evolving in the realms of science and technology.
Grand Challenges Nigeria, established to fund and advance impactful research and innovations in health, food systems, and development in Nigeria.
This initiative is also an opportunity to reaffirm our commitment to inclusivity and equity in serving Nigerians, especially the underserved. It is time to strengthen the capacity of our researchers, healthcare providers, and innovators to lead in health and sustainable development.
Driving innovation for a sustainable future for Nigerians is the theme of the project.
It reflects our shared commitment to reforming our economy, achieving food security, and prioritizing education, health, nutrition, and social investment as pillars of national development.
What we have here today, however, is a grand challenges for Nigeria that is set to a Nigerian agenda for Nigerian innovators to solve Nigeria's problems.
And through Grand Challenges Nigeria, we aim to create a robust platform for local researchers, healthcare providers, innovators to develop solutions tailored to Nigeria's unique needs.
Stakeholders at the event said building local capacity and fostering collaborations with partners will provide access to saving lives and unlocking the power of innovation through multi-sectoral engagement. From the State House, Abdurrahman Jibrila, Nta News.
President Bola Tinubu has dispatched a delegation to discuss security matters with the leaders of Chad. The National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu is leading the delegation, accompanied by the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa. The delegation met with Chadian Presidents Mahamat Idris Deby Itno in N'Djamena on Sunday, 17th November. Ribadu delivered President Bola Tinubu's message expressing condolences over the recent terrorist attack, which claimed the lives of several Chadian soldiers. The team also conveyed the Nigerian leader's message of solidarity with Chad, a key partner in regional security efforts. The discussion between the Chadian presidents and the Nigerian delegation focused largely on security cooperation, with both countries pledging to intensify joint operations against jihadist groups operating in the Lake Chad Basin. Let's go to the National Assembly now, where the House of Representatives has initiated an interactive session on the 4 tax reform bills submitted to the National Assembly by President Bola Tinubu. At the session, presided over by the Speaker of the House, Tajuddin Abbas, federal government's representatives assured Parliament that the reforms being proposed will not increase the tax burden on Nigerians, but expand the nation's tax base by leveraging technology.
So we are trying to increase tax revenue without increasing the tax burden on anyone. The poorest people will find significant reduction in their tax burden. Middle class, a little bit less reduction. Even the upper class and companies, large and small, we see a reduction in their tax burden. When you see tax rate going up here, the ones that are going down are far more than the little that is going up. I need to make that, because it was a promise we made. and that Mr. President made at the beginning. And we want to be honest and sincere with the Nigerian people.
Some lawmakers, however, expressed reservations about a proposed 60% increase on VAT, sharing and consumption of formula for states and local governments.
Has not taken any definitive position on these bills. Our role is to scrutinize them thoroughly, ensuring they align with the best interests of our constituents and the nation at large. We owe this duty to Nigeria.
Generating revenue is not a function of development anywhere in the world. So therefore, the efficient use of revenue is the financial for development.
The four executive bills which have only passed first reading in Parliament are the Nigeria Tax Bill 2024, the Tax Administration Bill, the Nigeria Revenue Service Establishment Bill, and the Joint Revenue Board Establishment Bill. In other news, Federal Road Safety Corps is working with stakeholders to pursue public enlightenment programs and aggressive enforcement of traffic rules and regulations to serve as deterrents to traffic offenders. Corps Marshal FRSC Shehu Mohammed echoed this while honoring the Road Traffic Crashes Victims Remembrance Day in Abuja. Oyeyemi Ajayi has details.
The World Health Organization's reports reveal that greater numbers of people are being disabled for life on world roads through avoidable road traffic crashes in the face of increasing motorization and vast civilization and development, and Nigeria is not in any way different. Hence, the commemoration of the Road Traffic Crash Victims Day is to re-echo the need for safety and safer driving on the highways.
I have directed the mobilization of all FRC personnel for the 2024 Ember Month Patrol Operation. This is to ensure that all road users using the highways will arrive their destinations safely.
With the theme that day is a solemn reminder of the sad day in the lives of survivors, families, friends and loved ones of those that died of road traffic crashes.
We opted for the establishment of emergency hospitals, especially on our federal highway.
Traffic offenses should be routinized and then offenses should be punished duly.
If it happens, we should see how we could support family members that are involved in it, and then we should keep advocating for the best practice in driving.
The objectives of the year 2024 World Day of Remembrance for Road Traffic Crashes Victims are to provide a platform for road traffic crash victims and their families to, among other things, remember all people killed and seriously injured on the roads, as well as promote evidence-based actions to prevent and eventually stop further road traffic deaths and injuries. Oyeyemi Ajayi, Nta News.
Well, you might have just seen him in that report. He joins us now in the studio to talk more on this. He is Suberu Yusuf, Coordinator, NGOs and CSOs on United Nations Decades of Action on Road Safety and Injury Prevention in Nigeria. Very welcome to the News Desk at 6.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's begin with the theme of this year's commemoration. What is your view of the theme that is that day?
You know, if we look at that statement, is a very profound statement that have the ability to speak to your emotion, like that day when this happened, that day when a call came in and then someone said, please, are you these some family members are involved in a road crash? Because the essence of WDR, which is World Day of Remembrance of Accident Victim, is to bring that consciousness into the mind of the people, knowing fully well that quite a lot of numbers of people have died through this incident. So if you are driving, consider those who have died, and also have a rethink of your action and inaction that you are about to engage in that could terminate somebody's life.
Okay, and what are some of the major causes of road crashes in the country so far?
When statistics, it shows that human factor is actually the major causes of crashes on our road. Because take for instance, sometimes we complain and said, oh, this road is not actually very good. And then by the time they fix the road, you see some individuals will engage above the speed limit that is required for that area. And then if something happens, it becomes difficult for them to control. So for me, I would say human factor is the major cause of crashes. Trust me, the reason why you see the modern cars today are doing things that ordinarily it is human that is meant to do them is because you see today you have a 2022, 2023 model of car. If you are about to crash on something, it has a sensor that can stop the vehicle. So this is naturally what it is expected of a human to engage in. So I said if the human factor is taken out, I'm telling you the rest should be between 30 to 35%, which has to do with environmental and mechanical. Sometimes you need to put your car in order before you engage the road, and because some of these cars are not in order is also a factor that could also cause crash. And so sometimes also our health, you see somebody is stressed out and needed to rest, and then he's still pushing himself above what his body can take, and then maybe along the line he slept off on the steering and then crashed into somebody else who is professionally driving. That's the reason why crashes on our road is a peculiar matter, because sometimes you may be very, very cautious and good with what you are doing, and then we have some individuals who will just crash into you. So that's why I said safety on our road is everybody's business. When you see somebody doing something wrong, don't say it is not me. It may crash into a family member of yours.
Exactly. And just lastly, just talk to us about, very briefly, what CSOs are doing in terms of addressing these challenges in terms of the human factor.
Obviously, we all know that the non-state actors like we are always advocating and then educating the public to be able to engage in the best practice. Because the truth is, when our mind is renewed to do the right thing, I'm telling you, naturally, accident will be eliminated to a 0 point, or if it happens, it's an accident, not the fact that somebody negligent result into crash. So CSOs, we are advocating, we are making sure that we give support to accident victim. I know the other time I lead a team into Federal Medical Center to make donation to the hospital and to the accident victim there. That is what we do. We keep spreading the news. It is important to be alive. So stay safe.
Definitely very point to end on that. So, all right, Mr. Suberu Yusuf, Coordinator NGOs and CSOs on United Nations Decades of Action on Road Safety and Injury Prevention in the country. Many thanks for talking to us on this very important issue.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, this is the News Desk at 6 on Nta News 24. More reports after this break. Well done, sir. You flowed very well as well. Welcome back. The Bureau of Public Service Reforms is engaging stakeholders on the need to build capacities through technological integration and citizen engagements to enhance public service delivery as the engine room of the government. Alika Okwanachi Arua reports that this was at a one-day roundtable discussion on public service reforms improvement and change.
Recent reforms seek to improve government performance by building managerial capacities, developing positive organizational cultures, and providing incentives for performance both at individual, organizational, and country levels.
We expect that the BPSR will sustain the dynamics by conducting regular diagnostics, studies, and research to identify the institutional problems.
This roundtable is highlighting government initiatives over the years and addressing the importance of accountability, transparency, and effective service delivery in public institutions.
We aim to streamline processes and reduce bureaucracy within the public service. There must be merit-based appointment and promotion within the public service so that we have the best class of people to work and deliver these efficient services that we want them to do.
For the participants, the forum was apt as they seek public service reforms with robust collaboration between the public and private sectors.
What I'm taking back from this program is just to go back, liaise with, of course, the management team of my organization, Corporate Affairs Commission. We can also impart others.
There are deep-rooted reforms, and it's a gradual thing. There should be a lot of training on some of these reforms.
To enhance public service efficiency, conversations encouraged digitalization of the public service by migrating from paper to paperless, as well as the adoption of artificial intelligence with caution. In Abuja, Alika Okonachi, Arua, Nta News.
The Ministry of Solid Minerals Development has officially launched the 2024 Mining Week, a key initiative aimed at attracting both local and international investors to Nigeria's solid minerals sector. With Nigeria's mining potential largely untapped, the week-long event seeks to position the country as a global mining hub while promoting sustainable development within the sector. Nta News reports.
Nigeria reportedly has about 44 exploitable minerals in more than 500 locations across the country, with the potential of making solid minerals the bedrock of the country's economy. The Mining Week is providing opportunity for investors to look at areas of collaboration to harness potentials in the sector. Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Solid Minerals Development, is optimistic that reforms by the present administration is positioning the sector to compete on the global stage.
Before now, people will come in, cut away our minerals and go and refine and bring back, and then we're paying so much on what belongs to us. Now with the local value addition, no one is allowed now to just legally carry out our product without adding value. Now this is creating jobs for Nigeria.
Discussions that followed aims to equip Nigerian mining companies with tools to attract investments.
Focus really is to help small mining businesses position themselves sufficiently to attract the kind of investment, and on the government side also to take another look at the policy framework.
The next few days is expected to foster more partnerships with highlights on Nigeria's commitment to develop a sustainable mining sector. Ekene Ndulue, Nta News.
Now, the new special advisor to the president on media public communications, Daniel Bwala, has assumed duty as the spokesman of the president in the State House. Bwala, a lawyer and notable public affairs analyst, restated his commitment to working with the pool of the presidential media aides as a team. Briefing State House correspondents, Bwala assured the State House press corps of working together to address issues concerning governance. Bit on security. Airstrikes conducted by the air components of Operation Fansanyama have killed numerous terrorists and their critical arms depot, including the residence of notorious kingpin Malam Saleh in Shiroro local government area of Niger State. A statement by the Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Olushola Akimboyewa, indicates that as NAF aircraft swooped in, terrorists on motorcycles were spotted in the target area with swift and precise action. The NAF assets unleashed devastating strikes and destroying the terrorists. A secondary explosion confirmed the destruction of ammunition, crippling Saleh's capabilities. This bold operation is part of the NAF's logistics strangulation strategy, aimed at decimating terrorist strongholds and restoring peace to the region. Now, to electoral matters, voter apathy is a recurring issue in Nigeria's electoral process, and the just concluded Ondo governorship election is no different despite the successful conduct. Guests on Good Morning Nigeria wants more Nigerians, particularly youths, to deploy their numbers in elections to entrust leadership to credible Nigerians. Lydia Sampson reports.
Targeting voter education towards more engagement of citizens to change the notion that voter apathy or refusal to engage in election is fighting bad governance is one aspect that is expedient. They are categorical that voter apathy is not the best way to protest alleged bad governance. Rather, citizens' vote is the only tool to end it.
They need to ensure that Nigerians don't see what happened in Ondo as a fluke, as a flash in the pan, as something that just happened by mistake. It needs to be sustained, and the sustenance is important for continuing to earn trust and for also the conduct of subsequent elections.
They urge politicians to stop weaponizing poverty only to take advantage of voters by enticing them with money.
Diboko Sobe, that's vote and make a pot of soup. And people were saying, yes, they're going to make a pot of soup. Yesterday I saw one or two persons I had interviewed, and I was saying, okay, you have voted, you have gotten the money. I hope the money will last. The pot of soup you are going to make will last for the next 4 years. So vote buying was there because citizens were willing to sell their votes.
Everybody is ready, but the politicians are never ready. The only thing they are ready about is money. And it starts from internal party democracy. How they self-party nomination and expression of interest form. How they deal with the primaries, either direct or indirect primaries. How they deal with consultation. And how they believe that they need to amass so much money or go and get money bags or political sponsors and bring money on election day.
The guests agree that voters also need to realize that mortgaging the future of their family for a pot of soup by selling their vote is a lifelong mistake. They applauded INEC for timely delivery of logistics, starting early, and general operational professionalism, stressing that Ondo must be a benchmark for INEC going forward. They noted that performance of security personnel greatly improved, but say appearance in branded outfits is not the best way to apprehend perpetrators of vote buying and selling. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, Nta News.
Imbibing engineering solutions towards massive agricultural developments across the value chains, guests on Good Morning Nigeria emphasize, is the only way to tackle challenges of food security and climate change. The 2024 Engineering Conference, commencing in Abuja, is expected to look at how to solve climate change challenges and proffer solutions to challenges in food security.
So what we do in the Nigerian Society of Engineers in particular is to go as far as having, our plan now, we are collaborating with some organizations to have what we call demonstration farms. So we are taking farming to settlements. We are collaborating with, we have 2 organizations in mind, in fact 3 right now. Asset Rise Limited, we have the National Agricultural and Land Development Authority. We're also collaborating with them to sensitize the farmers and teach them how to imbibe the culture of using renewable energy to solve some of the problems.
Subsystems of farming operations. And so recently when we had the Ministry of Livestock is developed, we made move to discuss and to interact with the chairman of the, without engineering of these structures, we need to really put engineering into it. Without engineering them, there may not likely be sustainable development as expected.
They are optimistic that a regenerative agricultural production system backed by requisite technology is key, as they want local indigenous machineries to be prioritized. Nigeria has been ranked high on implementation of the Akresal project, which has made significant strides across 19 northern states of Nigeria and the Federal Capital Territory. Charles Alpha reports that $7 billion food security funding topped discussions on the sidelines of COP in Baku.
Restoration efforts, accurate data collection, community empowerment, institutional strengthening and partnership using multi-sectoral approach highlights the agroclimatic resilience in semi-arid landscapes. Akresal project's commitment targeted at improving livelihoods, addressing climate change challenges while promoting sustainable landscape management in northern Nigeria. In Azerbaijan, it was more of a progress report, how countries have fared since the inception of the project in 2022, X-ray challenges and opportunities that exists in countries, and the kind of funds needed to scale up implementation, particularly in agricultural development.
At the Nigerian scale, we have been celebrated as one of the fastest projects that has delivered to its project development objective. We think we have communicated adequately, and from the feedback we got from those who participated, I think the promissory notes are very exciting and inviting. We hope that those promissory notes will be translated to actionable actions like we have with the World Bank intervention.
I am hoping that we can bring some of our water technologies there so that seeing is believing, and I would like to see the machine generate water as it does elsewhere. And also what I would like is to see the Paulownia tree brought in as well.
You know, when you talk of water management, you also think of finding ways of providing sustainable irrigation system in the state in order to boost agriculture.
After a series of progress reports from countries, Nigeria's Akresal project, supported by the World Bank to the tune of $700 million, was commended for the strides recorded since inception in Nigeria. In Baku, Azerbaijan, Charles Alpha, Nta News.
Well, that concludes the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. Thank you for watching. I am Dennis Adigunloye.